the Apollo 20 videos. This is a forensic analysis of the Apollo 20 videos as seen on YouTube. We will be exploring the facts and speculation of this video in an attempt to verify its validity and origin. We will be seeing clips from the original videos, which shouldn't constitute any copyright infringement, unless somebody like NASA is willing to come forward and claim that they own this video. So this clearly falls under the fair use statement. A quick summary of the original story. Allegedly, NASA launched a secret Apollo 20 mission to the moon to investigate what seems to resemble something man-made laying in a crater on the backside of the moon. It is speculated that this is a spaceship. It looks more like it's made of stone or rock and hand-carved by somebody, similar to what we see in Stargate, which represents the alien technology. Let's watch a bit of this video and examine what we see first. We see several gauges and several switch panels. We see a hatch or compartment cover with an Apollo 20 patch and a half Russian and half American flag taped to it. The beginning of this video matches up with what we should see in a real lunar module. Supposedly, the body of a woman was retrieved, which is allegedly 1.5 million years old. It appears to have been brought on board the lunar module. At first, it appears to be frozen. After some poking and prying at it, and after some thawing, the weird splints that were attached to her eyes and mouth apparently had been removed. At this point it seems her face must still be elastic, because her mouth is now mostly closed. Let's watch a bit more of the video and examine what else we see. We see orientation of the horizon gauges and several switch panels. We see a window and then a second astronaut. After some digital comparison to a real photo of Leonov, it seems this astronaut's facial features are correct and seem to match up with Leonov's face. He zooms outside through the window, and we see equipment on the surface of the moon casting shadows. They are apparently landed on the moon. The movement of the camera seems like it's scripted. I say this because here they have an alien female on board, and yet the camera person finds the control panels and moonscape just as compelling to film, as if they are trying to convince the viewer that they are in a real lunar module. We see a body of a female. But more important, we see several switch panels. Now let's examine the interior of the real Apollo LUM, or Lunar Excursion Module. Here are images of the LUM interior. Notice something familiar? All the gauges and switches are absolutely correct. There is at least 4 ways I can think of to do this. 1. They mocked up an exact replica of the lunar module. 2. They snuck a clay mannequin into a museum, and then managed to get it and themselves inside the lunar module exhibit. 3. They managed to gain access to the soundstage and props where Tom Hanks filmed Apollo 13, or the soundstage of the 2011 movie, Apollo 18. 4. Or it could be real. The evidence seems clear. Only you can make your own choice. Arm yourself with knowledge.
My name is Ernie Sears. I'm 84 years old. Have led a really interesting life from maybe when I was a young child actually, but certainly from 1960 with my first UFO experience. But since then I've been involved in what I would once have called impossible things. And these cover things like, I'm going to launch right into it and say, life after death. I've had personal experiences, and I can assure you no matter what you think or what you've seen or read, there is life after death. And it's a big subject all by itself. UFOs, yep, I've seen them, been inside them, conversed with the occupants. They always send me back with knowledge that I never had before, but I'm not told when I'm going to use it. But sometime along the way, I need that knowledge and I need to speak what I call the truth. My remit is the truth, so that all of you out there can understand a bit more about what we used to call the unseen world. Whatever it is, loosely called the paranormal, of course. You have to also remember or accept, which I do, in a funny way, we are being controlled. We are given all these things up to us to know what to do with them. Certainly, looking at the world around now, there's no way that people have grasped this. And if they don't grasp it very soon, there will be changes coming along. But as I said, a very interesting life. This is something that's meant to be. It's meant to show people that we go on forever. We don't die and dissolve. And also, in a funny way, what you do in this world today reflects on what you do after you die, and maybe in the future as well, because I'm also quite acceptable to things like reincarnation and that kind of thing, which a lot of people poo-poo. But there are thousands of us out there. I'm not unique by any means. We are having the same kind of experiences, and we're a different kind of race apart once we have that, because our minds are thoroughly opened, and what we would like to call care for others, even love for others, is the reigning emotion that we have. We care about people, we care about the world and its future. And we learnt this over the years because we accepted all the strange things that have happened to me as being perfectly natural, all meant to be, all part of the human species, all part of the past, and if we let it be, all part of the future. So I'd advise you to do what I do, read, look at things, understand them, let your mind assimilate them and use them for the good of the world. Have a look at my prompt sheet I've got here. I've got half a dozen which I made up before this program was mooted, you might say, and it's prompt sheets from the number of lectures I've given over the years, pieces out of that, ostensibly of my 8 abductions. And I don't know really whether I should start with 1933, when I was 9 years old, but that was when I had an out-of-body experience. We lived in Gosport in Hampshire, and I was quite ill at the time, in bed, feeling ill too, and the doctor was there, my mother speaking, and I could understand.